everything from stocking the shelves to putting it on the computer system to running the cash register and even doing some things with the money in the back. So I feel like I got a well-rounded.
When I was in the shop, I was responsible for doing everything from answering the telephone to cleaning the floors, or one of my favorite things to do was a window display. I was able to use my creative juices to just get that going. That was one of my favorites. We also helped customers who wanted a particular book, or if they needed to order something, I would help order a book, or I would dispatch a book when they came in to pick up an order. And I also was able to help people that needed gifts, or if they didn't know what kind of Bible they wanted, I was able to help them choose their Bible.
I did everything that was actually out in the warehouse. I didn't answer phones or do stuff like that, but I helped with inward goods. I put books on shelves. I spent like a month rearranging the IVP section of the bookstore, which was quite a job. And I packed a lot. I did a lot of packing. So I pretty much did everything that was in, so I think when I first got there, I would do everything every day. Like I'd start off getting the goods in, then I'd go and put the goods from the goods in onto the shelf, and then I'd pick some books off the shelf, and then I'd go pack some books. So it was a very I do everything in here right now.
One of my favorites that particularly pops to mind was when I got to do a window display, I was able to go downstairs, and in the basement we had many different fabrics and lots of different items that you could choose to make the window display colorful and attractive, because you only had one chance for a customer to walk by and for you to catch their eye with something. So I would try to make a theme or have a couple different colors that I would put together. I felt very welcomed and valued by my coworkers. I remember when I first flew into Heathrow, my store manager was one of the people that picked me up, and they just did a great job of making me feel like I was part of the family and part of the team there at the store.
It was just really cool seeing how even though you're all separated by cultural barriers and stuff, you all interact because you have the major overarching things in common. And it's also neat to realize that Americans aren't the only ones who are kind of a little ethnocentric and think of themselves as the only people that exist. It's kind of cool just to see how assumptions are made, and then you realize that it's not true, and see that.
It gave me a much bigger view of not just the English culture, but I guess the world in general, because being in London there were so many international people, and having grown up just in Georgia, I was so used to things being one particular way. It gave me a lot bigger of an idea of what the world is and all the different cultures and peoples.
I enjoyed my time at CLC, and I feel like they took care of me in the shop, and in a way outside of the shop they found me a place to stay and stuff like that. But I also feel like it's important to know a little bit about who you are before you go anywhere. And that's not just with CLC, that's with if you go anywhere by yourself. Really know how you are, know how you handle conflict, and it'll work out. But I think it's a wonderful opportunity to get your feet wet if you're interested in mission work or in business as missions.
I would definitely recommend an internship with CLC to others, probably because I had such a great experience. If you are going to do an internship with CLC though, I think it's important that you love literature, because CLC is really about the ministry that literature has on the Christian. And I know that in my life I have grown a lot because of things that I've read, or I've been inspired to think in different ways, or to look at something from a different perspective because of things that I've read. So my time with CLC was really beneficial in being able to see the ministry that literature really has upon different people.
I think the CLC internship program is good for someone who's looking to get real-world international small business management experience.
I lived in a flat, so I had my own place. And that was completely different from anything that I've ever experienced. But it turned out to be really good because the time that I did have alone, I had lots of time to spend with God, or to read books, to maybe watch a movie or two, to just relax after coming home from a long day of work. But also, I was able to host some of my friends if they wanted to come over. And I found out that the people I worked with who also lived in the building, just in different parts of it, were really able to show how much they cared about me.
I think one of the things that was interesting for me was being able to kind of visit the local churches and just to be in the daily life of the community, and just to see their felt needs of that society, of those people, and to see the impact that the literature had on them. And I think nothing can really replace selling someone their very first Bible ever. And then just how that kind of that speaks to you, because you start to value what you have, and that sort of thing. And I don't think anything can really prepare you for that.
My internship impacted me spiritually by giving me time to spend with God. I was living by myself in a loft, and every night when I would come home, I would have time to spend, whether I wanted to read or watch a movie or spend time praying or whatnot. And being by myself was very different from what I'm used to. So I had to get used to being independent and really relying more on God for everything that I needed. So I grew closer to Him and really restructured my relationship with Him as far as dependence goes, and just how close I was to Him.
My internship was an amazing opportunity for God to just take me out by myself, away from everything that I knew and everybody that I knew, and for Him to tell me that He loves me, even in that situation. And it's not going to change. And He loves me on many different levels, as a lover, as a father, as a friend, as a God who says, okay, when you need to listen to me, you need to listen to me, as, a discipliner in a way, but even in that there's love. I feel like I had an opportunity to witness to people and to love on the people in England and to be loved by the people in England. A lot of my ability to have an impact came from CLC and the awesome personnel they have working, especially in Birmingham. They specifically worked to find a way for me to feel like I had an impact. I am not used to being around Muslims. I'm just not. It's not common practice where I'm from. And a Muslim guy came in the shop and he said, "Hi, I'm Abdul. I want to know about Jesus." And I was like, and 2 days before that, I had been praying with a friend that I would have an opportunity to minister, because I don't do a lot of witnessing. Hey, let me tell you about Jesus. I'm not used to it. And so he came in and asked me about God. I feel like the people in England are hungry and they're searching for something that's real, something true that they can hold on to, and something that's not empty. And he came in one time and about 3 times every week after that. It was absolutely amazing to see that happen.